Okay, you guys. So I just got done reading. I mean, not reading. I haven't read anything. I just got done watching um the United States versus Billie Holiday. Now, let me say this. Um, Overall, I'm gonna give it a B plus A, right? Actually, no, I'm gonna give it an A. I don't know why I said B plus. I'm gonna give it an A. I thought that overall this was a really, really, really good movie, and I thought it was really, really well done. I think that there were some parts that were a little bit slow, but not to the point where it took away from the movie. Um, for myself, someone who is a huge, huge Billie Holiday fan, obviously I have seen Lady Sings the Blues. I've actually read the book Lady Sings the Blues. Um, love her music. Thought I knew. I ain't gonna say I knew everything because I never went out of my way to learn like study her. But I thought I had a pretty good understanding of Billie Holiday, and there were some things in the movie I knew. But if I'm going to be honest, most of it I did not. I did not realize how much of a juggernaut Strange Fruit was. We all know about her drug use. We all know that she absolutely had a horrible, horrible drug use problem that pretty much plagued her life. We know that she had a tragic, tragic life story, being raped at the age of 10 until she pretty much went out on her own. And from that point forward, she just ran into a series of men who just mistreated her and did her wrong. Um, she used the drugs to escape, which a lot of people who have drug addictions do. And ultimately, um, men sort of did her in. I mean, the drugs clearly was a problem for her. Obviously, um, the government used that against her to exploit her. There in the movie we see where there were numerous occasions where the government set her up. Now don't get me wrong, she was using the drugs, but the government was setting her up and using that as a scare tactic for her to sing the song Strange Fruit. Now for those of you who are not familiar with Strange Fruit is a song about lynching. The strange fruit she's referring to are men and women who hanging from trees who were lynched. And the sad thing is that our government would much rather have put effort into chasing down this woman, to threaten her, to put her in jail, to discredit her, to do all of these things to get her to not sing the song rather than address the issue of lynching. Like, that's the part that is so sad about this whole thing. The amount of time, money, and resources they put into getting her to stop singing the song, they could have put the time, money, and resources into addressing the problem of the song. We found out about Jimmy Fletcher, who was an FBI agent, a black FBI agent, who back then, that was pretty unheard of. They used him to set her up, and he eventually developed a relationship with her. Now, I would have to go out and do my own research to find out to the extent of that relationship. In the movie, it is portrayed as a love affair. As a love affair. I can't say for certain that it was that extensive of a love affair. That's not to say that they didn't have an entanglement. But I certainly could not get into the extent of this love affair. But clearly a relationship was developed between the two of them. He and I thought it was interesting. His character is he was middle class. His dad had a successful mortuary business. He really didn't have to work, but he was in the military, and then he went into the FBI. And it was interesting. We saw this scene with his mom at the beginning of this movie. At the beginning of the movie, when his mother thought that he was just a bum living off of his inheritance, because it sounds like his dad left him pretty comfortable. And she was a bum, and she was like, "You can't just live off of what your dad did. You have to go out and create your own legacy. You need to get you a job, and you need to do this and do that." And then, when he is a part of getting Billie Holiday arrested, she's like, "I don't even know why you're doing that. You don't even have to work if you don't want to. Why would you do that?" And I'm like, So because you don't like what he's doing, then he can live off of his inheritance and he don't even have to have a job. But when you thought he was just a bum doing nothing and just hanging out at the jazz clubs, like you had a problem with him hanging out at the jazz clubs, but you had a problem with him setting up Billie Holiday. And but what she brought up a good point, and he had valid points too, you know. And it's always that conversation of you doing your own people wrong, but if my people are breaking the law. Now, in Billie Holiday's case, they were using her drug addiction against her because of something else that really wasn't, well, shouldn't have been a problem. You know, singing the song Strange Fruit. But it was a really good movie. I feel like they flashed back enough to give you an idea of who she was and the extent of the betrayal in her life. I was a little confused. My boy Leslie Jordan is in there, and he plays the guy that's interviewing her. And I was a little confused because of the way, and this is some spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, then, you know. But I was a little confused because we start off the movie with her being interviewed by Leslie Jordan, and it seems like she's sort of at the end of the line. Like, she's desperate. She's doing this interview for money. Seems like she's sort of desperate for money. Which that was an ongoing thing, too. I mean, everybody robbed her, the poor thing. I don't know how the hell she stayed high. Because she ain't never had no money. Everybody robbed her. Her manager robbed her. Her husband's robbed her. Her boyfriend's robbed her. The clubs robbed her. Like, I was like, how you even had money to stay high? Because poor thing seemed like she never got paid. But, so she's talking about the song Strange Fruit and how much the government kind of came after her because of her singing the song. But then it was really weird because the way the movie ended, it seems like I wasn't clear where that interview was in the timeline. Because, of course, we end the movie with her dying. So I just never saw it. And maybe it's me. Maybe I just missed it, y'all. Because I only looked at it once. Sometimes you got to look at stuff more than one time and, you know, you catch everything. So if y'all know, y'all can put it in the comments. But that's the only thing. I got to give a shout out to Miss Lawrence, who I think maybe just going by Lawrence now, who is in the movie, does an excellent job, in my opinion. Definitely Lee Daniels, I think, did a really, really good job. He's director and producer, and I think he did an excellent job. Absolutely, positively, have to give the roses to Andrea Day, who did an excellent job in this movie, even down to having Billie Holiday's raspy voice, just that raspy voice that she was known to have. I think she did a really good job. It also has Trevante Rose and Natasha Leone and Garrett Hedlund. I hope I'm saying everybody's name right. But I thought it was really, really good. I definitely highly recommend it. It is streaming on Hulu. Y'all need to go and check it out. But I'm always here for learning something, and I definitely learned something. And the other thing I can appreciate is that if you've seen Lady Sings the Blues, it doesn't overlap it to the point where you feel like you're watching the same movie. Like, you don't feel like, oh, I'm just looking at an updated version of Lady Sings the Blues. Like, not at all. It's two totally different movies. Yes, it's about the same person, but there's really, like, some of the characters overlap. Richard, the character that Richard Pryor played in the movie is in there because, of course, he was a big part of Billie Holiday's life, but not to the point where you feel like you know the story already. Like, oh, well, I'm just looking at Lady Sings the Blues again. So I'm here for it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I really thought that it was well done. Lee Daniels, you know, we've had some really good. I mean, I hope it's not just because it's Black History Month, child. But we've had some really, really, really good Black movies these last couple of weeks that I definitely am here for and would recommend and feel like they're doing us some justice. I don't want to give away too much because, I mean, other than me sitting here telling y'all the whole story, I don't want to give away too much, but I was pleasantly surprised because I expected a good movie, but I didn't know what to expect. I honestly did not know when it, the title should have given me a clue, I guess. But I wasn't sure. But either way, that's just it. It's a quick drop. It ain't real long, but that is my recommendation. Definitely go catch it. It's on Hulu. It's streaming. It started streaming this weekend, so it is definitely trending. If you go into Hulu, it's right there on top. And y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.